Afternoon, fellow coin collectors of the 50p variety, and we're back to the 1997 Isle of Man 50p TT1. And this one is the one where we're trying to get the 31 different die marks that are known to exist. So I had a little bundle of these arrive today, and if we have a look at the first one, we can see that the right hand A is over to the left of the driver's foot, with a nice gap between the line underneath and a gap between the tails between the two AAs. So I've compared this to all the other ones, and this is a unique one, so this one will go into the collection. If we move on to the next coin, we'll see that on this coin we have the two A's. The right hand A is a little bit more squashed down. There's a considerable amount of space between the two lines, and it does look like on this one the tails are almost touching on the A's. There is quite a difference between the A's on this one, and the gap is quite large between the two A's and the line underneath. So I've compared this one, and again, very happy that this one doesn't appear in the collection anywhere. We'll also notice that the right hand A is over to the left of the driver's foot. If we go on to the next one, we'll see the two A's. We can see that the A on the left hand side, the left hand tail, is weak, and the A on the right hand side, the left hand tail, is weak again. What is different about this one is that the right hand A sits reasonably close to the driver's foot, just offset to the left of the foot slightly. There's a very large gap between the A's and the line, and there's also a large gap between the two A's. So again, comparing this one to the the tray of 50p's, I'm pretty happy that this is a unique one as well. What I tend to do with these is try to look for one distinguishing mark. If you have one distinguishing sort of mark, then it rules it out compared to the other ones. So on this one, you'll see that the two A's, the tails in the middle touch, and there's a nice little space between the A's and the line underneath. But with this one, the right hand A is pointing up towards the foot. So this is different to all the other ones I have, so this one will be going in the collection as well. And then if we have a look at this one, we can see this one's a bit mullered, but the right hand A is, well, it's squashed, and again sits underneath the driver's foot. If we look over at the previous one, you can see the tails and the two A's are touching. On this one, they're close, but they're not touching. And we have quite pronounced tails on both of them. So again, quite happy that this one doesn't appear in the collection anywhere else. The A on the right hand side is, to put it technically, it looks a bit mullered. If we move on to the next one, these are the final two that arrived today. Again, we've got on the bottom coin, we've got the two tails of the A's touching in the middle. The A's are pretty much in line with each other. There's a nice space underneath the A's between the A's and the line. We can see that the right hand A is pointing up towards the driver's foot. So above this, if we have another look, I'll just try and get these both together. We can see that on the coin above, again, a nice space between the A's. The tails in the middle of the A's are just about touching at the points, the same as the one below. And we can see that the space between the right hand A and the driver's foot is practically identical. The other giveaway with this one is the left hand A. If we have a little look at the tail on it, the left hand tail doesn't look too great on that. And when we go up to the top one again, it's exactly the same. So I'm reasonably happy that these two coins have the same die mark, and as a result, one of these will not be going in the tray. So this was my little haul of 7 coins that arrived, and out of the 7 coins, we have 2 that are the same. Been through the tray mark, or through the tray, looked at all the die marks, and again, I'm happy that none of these appear anywhere else. So just to reiterate that if we go back and look at the first coin, we'll see that the right hand A is offset to the driver's foot. This one is also, second one is also offset to the driver's foot. But we can see that the one on the left hand side is actually offset more. We can also see that the A's are different on the right hand coin. The left hand A is different to the left hand A on the first coin. Moving on, the distinguishing mark on this one is how close the A is on the right hand side to the driver's foot, and it's also slightly lower than the left hand A. On this one we can see that the right hand A sits more directly under the driver's foot, and there's less of a gap between the two A's and the line underneath, and the two little tails on the A's in the middle nearly touch each other. If we have another look at this one, we can see that the right hand A is more indistinguishable than the left hand A. It looks shorter and fatter, also slightly higher up. So I'm happy again that this is different to all the other ones. And then finally, just to recap, the last one, if I can hold this steady, you can have a good look at it. And I'm pretty happy that these are the same die mark. I stand to be corrected. I think with these die marks, the other thing that has to be taken into consideration is wear on the actual die. I'm sort of thinking that some of these die marks may have started off the same, and then as more and more coins are struck, the die mark changes very slightly, where you might lose definition on the tails, or you might lose definition on the middle of the A's. But as far as I can see, I think these two are the same, so one of these will not be going into the collection. So drop me a line, drop me a message underneath, tell me what you think. But at the minute we're going to add another 6 coins into the tray, and that will bring the total up to 25. So again, I do expect these die marks to get harder and harder to find as time goes on. But one side of my brain is also telling me that there's got to be more than 31. Unless I'm either useless at looking at these die marks and I'm getting it wrong, or there's more than 31, in which case, if they struck 3,000 to 4,000 coins per die, so 31 dies, you're looking at about 120,000 coins. Be interesting to find out. But yeah, subject to wear and tear on the die as the coins are being produced. I'm pretty happy that this is another 6 individual coins that are going into the collection. Hopefully at some point we'll get to meet up with Les, the 50p collector, and he can go through them as well, and he can double check my work with the magnifying glass. But it's taken me well over an hour this morning to go through. In fact, it's taken me an hour and 25 minutes to go through and check all of these die marks against the previous die marks, and I am happy that they are all different. There's no benefit to me to cheating the game, so to speak, and putting in die marks that are the same. That doesn't get anybody anywhere. But overall, I'll be popping these into the tray, and we'll have another 6 to go in. So drop a message below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you shortly for more 50p videos. Peace and love. Coin Snatcher out.